So, remember to like and subscribe and support me on PayPal and stuff if you want. Um, but anyway, like trying to figure out what kind of video I want to make. But um, a lot of people on the left are saying that we need a democracy. Well, the new thing is Democrat socialist, which is basically a socialist. um, you know, they say, well, we need a democracy because right now we actually have a republic. And I was like, no, we don't. We don't need no democracy. Democracy is like the dumbest thing. you know, we have democracy on campuses right now. You know, the fact that like the reason why Milo and Lawrence Southern and all these and Gavin, the reason why they couldn't speak is because majority rules. It's like a bunch of people voting for a little bit amount of people, minorities. Majority voting for the minority. So you got more people as the majority voting for this little group of minority because everybody knows like if you're a Republican on campus, it's probably like five of y'all. It's like maybe like 100 people that are hiding it. The fact you gotta hide it, you gotta hide it. You know you're a minority. So the reason, and I think the problem with kids now is not that they're rebelling, is that they're not being checked by anyone. It's like, and now they're just will always try to figure out what they can get away with. You know, and college life is now becoming like high school life. They leave high school, go to college, and it's still like high school. So they bring their high school life to college. And then the way college is now, you know, you have stores and restaurants and all your job and your park, all that's near the college. So you're not seeing any other type of diverse thought. It's all your friends from high school can now go to college because now that the government's funding college more and you have state colleges, anybody can go to college now. So if you want to go to college with your buddy from high school, you can if you want. So you're not really being challenged. You're not seeing new people when you go to college. And most people, even when foreigners come, they're scared to have diverse thought. So even if they have diverse thought, they're scared to express it because they don't want to offend no one. They don't want to. They want to have friends when they come. So they want to get along. So when they come, even when Indians come and Chinese and Japanese and Africans come, they sound just like the American kids. They say the same stuff. So it's not really diverse at all. It's just diverse in skin color. So they're bringing their high school life to the college, and then college never leaves them. They don't have to leave their neighborhood because they live in a house near their college. So that little box they live in is everywhere. You know, so they're not being challenged. And they're never leaving their little clique. And so that's why, colleges suck, is because they have a democracy. They don't have a republic. Nobody's an individual. Everything is group thing. Everything is group vote. They have group trials, or you can't even defend yourself. Where I'm gonna accuse you of something and you can't say anything back. You're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're a sexist, you're a Nazi. You can't defend yourself because we have deemed you a bad person. A bad person can't defend himself, can't say anything about himself. Your evidence doesn't matter because you're a bad person. So you're Hitler, you're a murderer, you're a rapist. You can't speak for yourself. You don't deserve to speak for yourself. You can't defend yourself. You're a bad person. So now that we have given basically kids majority rule, now they're turning on the teachers. So And the teachers are acting like they don't know what's going on. Like you treated them like kids. You gave them too much power. You didn't check them or nothing. You just let them do what they wanted to do. Now they want to take you out now. So now they're acting like they don't know what's going on. And it's like, well, they're just speaking their mind. Like I forgot the Evergreen guy was talking about he was about to go to college. He was about to go to school, his job, and the cop said, "Don't show up." He said, "Why?" It's because they're looking for you, and we can't protect you. And these guys, they're like, these are liberals. These are, they act like they're down with the cause and all that stuff. And they will go along and be preaching, after police and everything. And these same people, when they're in danger, they're like calling the cops. They act like they're like down with the cause. As long as everybody's down with the cause, as long as you're not in danger. But when you're getting in danger, hey, your instincts kick in, and now it's all about survival. And all the things you were thinking, all of that goes out the window when fear comes about. So, and like I said, you don't want a democracy because hmm, let's say you have an idea and you think it's a good idea. Um, if five people, let's say you're one person, if five people decide that your idea is not good enough, they can vote your idea down. And you can say, you can fight all day. You can fight all day about your idea is a good idea. My idea is better than your idea. Five people, because that's the majority, that's more than one, let's say more than half, um, they can vote out your idea because they're the majority and you're the minority. What kind of irony is that? Here we want a majority, but the people who are speaking is the minority. It's weird. Blacks are the minority, Hispanics are the minority, trans or gay are the minority, but they're the ones speaking and saying that they want majority rule. But they're majority, they're actually the minority. And it's kind of weird. They must don't know what democracy is because democracy means the majority rules. But you guys are not the majority. You guys are the minority. Not now. You guys are the majority. You guys are crazy. On campus, they're the majority. Once you lump it all together, you put the blacks with the women. I don't know, dude, white women. I don't know how you say white women are a minority, but anyway, they got the blacks. You just once you build up the numbers, you got the blacks, the gays, the trans, the women, the beta males. You once you lump them together, the feminists, whatever. Once you lump them together, then you make the majority. Once you lump them all together, that's when you have the majority. So you're not the minority anymore. See, as soon as your numbers grow, sorry. As soon as your numbers grow, you're not the minority no more. You're the majority now. So you can basically do what you want after that. You can, if you say, hey, we don't want no white teachers to show up. We're the majority. We're a democracy. Okay, you can't show up. And colleges don't care no more. They get funding from the government anyway. They don't care. Um, so you say what is a republic? Republic is basically an individual. Individuals decide their fate. It's no group thing. It's individuals decide their fate. You know, if if I don't want certain types of thinking around me or certain type of decisions being made around me, I can decide for myself if I want that around me. So it's actually better if you're in a house that's burning down and the group decides we're going to stay in the house, it's burning down. You have to stay in the house because the group has decided it. But if I'm an individual, I'm gonna say the house is on fire. I don't want to burn in this house. I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not dying up in here with you guys. I'm a minority. I'm fine with being a minority because then I can think on my own. I don't need the group to think for me. Um, anyway, so it's not a good idea to think like that. And you can say, well, okay, because socialism means everybody's equal, everything is controlled by the group, the social group, the society, or whatever. And then democracy is the majority, which is not everybody, but most. Like you say, more than half. It's basically the same thing. It's almost the same thing. It doesn't really work because it could mean anything. It could mean a group of 50. A group of 50. It doesn't mean everybody. It could be like a group of 50. Could be the democracy, the group that makes all the decisions. And okay, here's what they want. They want government funded education, healthcare, and defunded prisons. And defunded prisons ain't gonna work out in the black community or the Hispanic community. It ain't gonna work out in the poor community because they need people in jail. You need to put these people in jail that's messing up your community. So defunding like prisons is not gonna be a good idea for poor communities because they get affected by crime the most. And they get the most gun laws and all that craziness the most. And they get the most handouts and all that stuff. So, and the thing, it's like in education, why would you want the government to fund education? We're like the dumbest country. Why do you think we gotta bring foreigners here? Because we're not really that smart. So if we're not really that smart, why would you want the government to fund education for? Education will be even worse. He said healthcare. We got the best healthcare. It's pretty obvious. You know, we got the best. You don't want it to be funded by the government because then they can control the prices. They can do whatever they want. They can make it bad if they wanted to. They can diminish the quantity of it if they wanted to. They can say, hey, you can't go to this hospital. You got to go to this one. You can't have this doctor. You got to have this one. They can dictate whatever they want to you. Abortion, they can control that too. Abortion sucks anyway. But if the government had control over it, I don't know, man. Do you want that? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, can you name one thing the government, runs as it run well? Yeah, they can kill some people, but I don't know about helping people. So we don't want that. But the argument is we don't want the corporations and the wealthy people having too much power. But the problem is the government also has power, and they don't want to give it up either. So you say, well, I'm ending with this. You can't control what's stopping the wealthy from giving up their power? You don't even know who they are. I mean, Bill Gates is wealthy, but can you go find that guy? I mean, I don't know where that guy is at all times. I'm like, what are you gonna do with him? How are you gonna stop Bill Gates? You know anything? Because you can't jail him. And if he did anything crooked, you can't prove it. He's in hands with the government. And my brother made a good point. If you give the government power, the wealthy people will just buy the government. Or they'll just put themselves in the government, which they already have done. And you can't touch them. That's why you can't touch them. Because they already bought the government. They bought parts of the government. Actually, I don't think they want the government. I think the way they at least work is like they don't want to just do stuff. That's too boring. They got to have a reason. They got to have some divine reason so they can, so they can feel good about themselves. Most elites are pretty like egotistical. They think they're good people. They think they're doing you a favor. So, yeah. So, what's stopping the people from getting their power back and gaining more power or getting power? And what's stopping the government from gaining too much power? The problem with the democratic socialism is that what's stopping it becoming what's stopping it from becoming the full-blown socialism? Nothing. No, most people in America are not brave enough to stand up to the government or stand up to wealthy people. They're not brave enough. You can't even stand up to wealthy people. You don't even know who they are. The Bilderberg group. I haven't heard anybody like go try to assassinate the people in the Bilderberg group. Never. You would have think they would try to beat them up or something, but nothing. They don't even care. Most people know about the Bilderberg group and don't do nothing about it. So what are you gonna do when the government comes too powerful? You ain't gonna do nothing. You too afraid of the government. You too afraid of the cops. Most people are too selfish and care only about themselves and their family to do anything about it. So you think people are generous enough to share their wealth? I mean, we can't. I mean, I can't even halfway get my mom to share her food. So I don't know how you gonna think you're gonna get a whole population of people to share their wealth. It ain't gonna happen. So I don't know what you're expecting. You have too much faith in other people that you don't know to think they're gonna share their wealth. Oh man. Anyway, so the wealthy ain't gonna give up their wealth. The government are not gonna give up their power, and people are too selfish and too involved in themselves and their family to want to share their wealth. So you think the people, we're gonna give all the power to the people? Power, okay. Only way you can have power is you have to regain your own power. You can't be waiting for the government to give you your power back. You can't wait for the wealthy to give you your power back. You have to regain your own power. You can't be waiting for the government to do it. Like, oh yeah, all we gotta do is wait for the government to give us our power back. He's gonna give us our reparation. He's gonna give us our wealth back. Yeah, our land back. Yeah, you waiting for the government to give you that? How about you regain your own or create your own? If you look at every movement, let's look at Black Lives Matter. What has Black Lives Matter built? Nothing. Where's the Black Lives Matter bank? Where's the Black Lives Matter school? Where is the Black Lives Matter police department? Where is the Black Lives Matter charity center? Nowhere to be found. Look at feminism. Where is the feminist bank? Where is the feminist community center? Where is the feminist rape center? Where is the feminist, psychiatrists, teachers, school, banks, store, restaurant, cafe, hotel? Nowhere to be found. I don't know where they are. but so all you gotta do is look at these movements and these ideologies and say, what have they actually built? And what are they building? I haven't seen no results of what they've, built, or there's no positive results. If you call everybody a sexist, eventually we're gonna not know what a sexist is. If you call everybody a sexist, how are we gonna know who's a sexist if everybody is? If you call everybody racist, eventually we're gonna not know what a racist is because everybody's a racist. Either everybody's a racist or nobody's a racist. Because you call everybody a racist, you're not gonna know. So the wealth are not gonna give up their power. The government's not gonna give up their power. And people are too selfish to share their wealth. And people care about themselves too much to want to be used. So eventually people are gonna be like, I'm sharing my wealth here, but you're not sharing yours. I'm gonna end this real quick. So that's what usually what's gonna happen is you're sharing your wealth, I'm not sharing mine. Somebody's doing something, but I'm not. You're not doing anything. People are smarter now. It's kind of hard to trick people now. you can do that white guilt for a little bit, but eventually those white people that feel bad about slavery and they're gonna help you out a little bit, eventually they come wise to that and be like, I don't know, man. I think you're using me. I ain't down with this no more. That's why movements change and have to rebrand it all the time because people are smarter now because they got more information. They know quicker when they're being used. So anyway, but anyway, what do you think? I mean, do you really think that the wealth is actually going to give up their power, or the government's going to give up their power, or give the power back to us, or like it was lost or something? Or do you really think people are sharing enough? Sharing is caring. Sharing enough to want to give up their wealth, give up their education for somebody? Yeah, you can go to school for me. I'll give them my education, then you can go. Do you really think people are generous enough to do that? I don't think so. Matter of fact, the Republicans are probably more generous than the Democrats. So you want the Democrats to be, you wait for the Democrats to be generous? The Republicans are actually give more charity than the Democrats do. So like I was saying before, it's probably going to be the Republicans again that's going to save the day. So yeah, you don't want Democrat socialism or democracy because the majority is too stupid. You don't want the majority ruling because they're too stupid. I gotta leave it this like, if you ever been to Black Friday, and if you ever notice that when the doors open, a whole bunch of people rush in, and because there's too many people, you usually get trampled because there's too many people going in all at one time. If there's too many people going in at one time, you can't control everybody. So it's just chaos if it's just too many people. So that's why you have to go in individually. If you go in individually, it's slower, but it's safer. So you can't control what everybody's doing. Definitely when it's too many of them. When there's too many people talking at once, too many people making decisions at once, it's not going to work out. You need to listen to this one person, say your ideas, go to the next person, say your ideas. That way you can understand what each person is feeling and thinking. It's a whole lot better and a whole lot safer and more productive to have a few making decisions. And don't say a few making decisions. What I'm saying is, listen to each person individually's problems instead of trying to listen to all of them at the same time. Having, the too many people, ruling over us, making decisions for everybody. Like, no, you don't know my problems. We need to listen to people's problems individually, and that's how we're gonna solve the problems. Not thinking that the whole group of people has all the same problems. No, you need to look at people individually. That's the only way you're gonna work. So that's why republic is better and democracy isn't. It's because if you put all black people into a group and say they're all disadvantaged, it's not true. Will Smith is not at a disadvantage. He's a black person. You put him so you gonna put Will Smith in a group of black people? It's not. You can't do that. Will Smith got a lot of privilege. He got a lot of money. He is not a victim. So you can't put Will Smith in the group of the black people just because he's black and say he's a victim. Will Smith is not a victim. Oprah is not a victim. Pharrell's not a victim. All these people are rich people. Tyra Banks, none of these people are victims, man. You can't put everybody in a group. A person with one leg, he has a totally different lifestyle than a person that has two legs. You can't say they're both the same. They're not. So there's no same. There's no equality. There's no equal. Nobody's equal. Anyway, it's getting too long. So understand that democracy is not gonna work. Majority rule, you ain't gonna like it. You know, you have a whole bunch of people making decisions for one person. It ain't gonna work out. You ain't gonna like it. If the mob wants to kill you, they will kill you because majority rules. You ain't gonna like it. The majority making decisions for the one person ain't gonna be a good idea. So we need individual thinking. We need to focus on each individual problems, and then we can solve them that way. That we know exactly, precisely what the problems are, and then we can solve them. Anyway, so remember to like and subscribe to Two Genders. Remember that that the internet is cultural appropriation. If it wasn't for the patriarchy, we wouldn't even have the internet. So anyway, and if it wasn't for cultural appropriation, we wouldn't even have money to buy anything. Anyway, and if it wasn't for the patriarchy, we wouldn't have any of this technology. So if you want to support me on PayPal, that'd be cool. And peace out.